Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're actually going to paint some rims. I'm going to show you how to customize stock wheels for various cars. Throughout the years, GM especially used the same bolt pattern on a whole bunch of vehicles. So if you can't afford to go out and buy some ridiculously expensive custom wheels, there are options for you. The Camaros, the G bodies, the S10s, they all use 5x4 and 3/4 bolt pattern. So, that being said, you can use wheels off of different years of those cars for other models. You may need wheel spacers to do this, but it is possible. Now, there's a lot of talk about how wheel spacers are unsafe and you shouldn't use them, this and that. This style of wheel spacer, with the studs as part of the wheel spacer, is perfectly safe. It's been approved by different racing sanctioning bodies. This is okay. The style that's more like a washer for all your lug nuts, not a good idea. It moves the weight of the vehicle out onto the wheel stud, and you're asking for stud failure, wheels to fall off, so on, etc. But I've used this style of wheel spacer before. It's not a big deal. You need that style wheel spacer in order to use a lot of the Corvette wheels on the other vehicles because of the back spacing. Those spacers actually came off of the Camaro you see behind me because there were Corvette wheels on it. Now, I did some modifications to the suspension on this car, so there are no spacers on the back because I have a wider rear end, and there are smaller spacers on the front because I did a Corvette brake upgrade on the car. Either way, those spacers are safe. What I have is some C5 wheels that we're going to modify, paint, customize for this car, so that you get that custom wheel look, different than everybody else's. It's way cheaper. Pretty simple to do. Basic painting principles and imagination. So, I'll show you what we got. So as you can see, we got some Corvette wheels here. Now, just like any other time you paint something, you're going to want to clean it very well. You're going to want to sand and scuff the surface, clean it again before you paint, and then you'll have to prep. You know, I usually use playing cards around the outside to keep the paint off the tires. It's usually easier if you deflate the tire before you put the cards in, and I'll show you that when I get there. Alright, so we've got the primer on this wheel. I just sprayed this one black. You can see I've got the playing cards around the outside like I talked about before. We're using straight up Rust-Oleum black and a spray paint can here to do this. For the primer, one-step self-etching is what I use. I'm sure Rust-Oleum primer will work just fine. And I scuffed it up with a red Scotch-Brite pad. Red or gray work pretty good for this kind of stuff. Taped off the air stems, and now I put some color on it. Make sure you get down around the outside of the cards real good. You don't want it to run, but you got to get some paint in there so when you pull the cards out, it's not primer or silver like it was before. Coming in at a bunch of different angles, make sure you get everything without missing any spots. Alright, well, there you go. I just went with black, but the point is, it's a Corvette wheel that no longer looks like a Corvette wheel. I mean, it does, but not what a stock Corvette wheel would look like. So, for someone just walking by your car, they think you got custom wheels on your car. I'm going to do a little vinyl to it, put a red pinstripe around the outside, and I ordered some American flag decals that I'm going to cut down to fit inside one spoke. But other than that, cool little different thing you can do. I mentioned before that 5x4 and 3/4 was a common GM size. I'm a Chevy guy. Other manufacturers and models can work as well. I had Dodge rims on a Chevy pickup, 8 lug. I put Honda Civic wheels on a Mazda for a buddy of mine. I had to machine the center out, but other than that, the bolt pattern was the same. You just got to do your research, figure out what fits what. Ford Mustang, I believe, shares a bolt pattern with a Ford Ranger, and some Lincolns, Mercuries as well. Just another trick to keep the budget down, but still have a custom, cool look to your car. Anyways, keep it creative. Happy building. Alright, so as you can see, vinyl's on, little pinstripe, American flag to dress it up a little bit. Looks pretty cool. I just used the vinyl pinstripe from Advanced Auto Parts. I actually used the double stripe here and just cut the small stripe out of it and put it on by hand. They had some thicker stuff, but I kind of wanted that medium-sized stripe, and it came out pretty good. That's it. They're done. Wheels don't look like anybody else's. Keep it creative. Happy building.